Yeah, Philosopher A.D. Jones. This is a message to leaders about leadership. Now, the perspective that I'm coming from, and of course, this is simply my opinion, and we'll leave that alone. So, anyway, message to the leaders. Part of becoming a leader is going through the ranks. Part of becoming the tip of the mountain is starting from the foundation of the mountain. And as you climb, as you toil at the bottom, you got your groove, you young, you got the right shoes on. Really, you got the wrong shoes. You got on gym shoes climbing the mountain, but you brought your boots just in case, which is non-wisdom because climbing the mountain, why would you want to put an extra load on your back when that could be supplies? See, that's that youth not thinking. You don't even got wisdom yet, but you do it because you're strong. These little boots ain't nothing. But as you climb that mountain and you start turning and pulling up on rocks and scraping your feet on like the ground, the grit, you start getting holes in those shoes. The rubber is like an eraser. It didn't quite last as long as you thought it would. When you look at a new eraser on a pencil, you be like, that big old eraser, man, that's gonna last me about a month or two. You okay? 1, 2 weeks at the max. Because you're using it. As you toil, you're gonna erase. What does erasing signify? As you're writing your story, climbing this mountain, you make some mistake. Oh, wrong turn. I can't go that way. I gotta go back. So you use the eraser. Every time you do what? Make a mistake. Does it get rid of the mistake? No, you just get it out the way. It's still there. You could even still see it lightly. It's kind of like engraved on your subconscious mind versus your mind that you use on a daily basis for short term decisions. Yeah. If you go back years later, you're going to still see it in the background. Because you erased it only on the surface. It's still there. It's part of the paper. Just like the mistakes of your life in leadership is part of your journey going up this mountain. See? And as you continue to climb, and it's no longer um, in an angle, it's more vertical now. Ooh, these gym shoes ain't quite cutting it. We're doing a lot more climbing. You slipping. You can't even get your grip. So now it's time to transform the tools to assist you in your ascension up this mountain needs to be applied. The tools, the proper tools, because you possess them. See, you already possess the tools. You already got the boots with you. You already got them with you. And you know it, so you confident. Because you are equipped, you are confident. Okay? How did you get equipped for this journey? You probably spoke to people that have already climbed mountains. So they gave you wisdom based on their experience. And they probably said, yeah, I used to climb that mountain, but I don't anymore, which means they retired from that particular journey. And then they'll say, well, I don't mind whatever you want to know, I tell you to help you. So they're willingly passing down wisdom. And you were looking for leadership on how to climb this mountain. And they willingly gave it. Make a note of that. Now, as you continue to climb this mountain and you've transformed, you're no longer your old you. You're no longer your old gym shoe wearing self. You're wearing boots. So now you got a new pep in your step. Even though you're a little bit more tired and fatigued, that right equipment, you ain't slipping as much, so you conserve more energy using it for the journey. And as you continue this journey with the right equipment, you pull and push and pull and push and climb and step. You finally get to the top. It took you decades to do this. It took you years to climb this mountain. What did you eat? What did you drink? It's a mountain, which means it's gonna have snow, which means you heard of mountain spring water, which means the snow at the top is gonna melt at some point as you descend based on a higher temperature on the surface. It's gonna heat up the snow and make water. You could drink that water. What else drinks water? Trees that produce fruit, berries, animals that eat fruit, berries, and drink water. So your food is there for these decades. Now, as you enjoy the top, there's gonna come a time that your legs are gonna be tired. You're not gonna quite wanna stand up there long enough. You wanna be on top sometimes, you know what I'm saying? But you'd rather be spending time with the family, doing some other things. What's happening? Those boots, you want to trade them for a different pair of shoes because you went off the mountain sometime. If you're walking around the city, you're not going to be walking around in mountain boots all the time, right? Only when you climb the mountain. So therefore, you want to transform again into some different shoes sometimes. Sometimes you want to be that top leader. Sometimes you just want to be regular, blend in to be dad, granddad, uncle. You just want to relax with something cold and hot. Now, what do? Get off the mountain. You know how to climb it, so you ain't worried. And you could go back anytime you want to climb that mountain. Or you could be like the person that helped you and say, hey, I give you whatever you need. But see, that's what we want to talk about right there. As a leader, part of leadership is to pass the baton. Part of leadership is to assist with someone else's ascension in order for you to ascend. Leader, It's not that you ran this race or climbed this mountain by yourself for yourself. You had to ask somebody something. You had to read something which came from somebody else. You dig? So somebody assisted in you becoming a leader. Flat out. So part of leadership is to assist other leaders. And by you not doing that can possibly indicate that you're not a true leader, or you just didn't put on that last pair of boots. You see, we all got things to learn, even as leaders. You're gonna never be able to keep those same mountain boots or those same pair of gym shoes or tennis shoes on all the time. Part of being a leader is giving it up, assisting, helping the other leader climb that mountain so that they can help other leaders climb that mountain. And as we talking about missions, we all here put here for something. We all got certain missions. That's an assumption, you know. Take it with a grain of salt or not. But if part of your mission was to pass those boots down or pass that information down or lending a helping hand and pulling up versus keeping down, man, I ain't telling them nothing. Nope. Man, they could take my spot. They could get past me on the mountain. You know what I'm saying? They could climb that mountain quick and come and take my spot. Ego. We all got them. That's part of the mission, to balance it. So maybe that last pair of boots might be ego boots. Get rid of your ego boots. Philosopher A.D. Jones, till next time, these.